Hello everybody, we're in the dining room this afternoon, and as you probably saw earlier, Paul sorted the seeds.
I did seed saving in the house.
Well, you did a seed sweep around the
sweeperama.
A sweeperama.
Seederama.
Seederama sweep. So Paul has sorted the seeds, and this is Paul, obviously, with an amaryllis.
That's there.
That makes it look homely, you see, on video. And Paul's going to talk about his plan, and as you can see, he's sorted himself out.
Look at that. So that's all the seeds sorted. What I've done, this is Bertie the box, that has been around and about, that people will know about. What I've done is I've sectioned everything into months, so January, February, March, obviously down. At the end here I've got things like flowers and veg and fruit seeds that I'm not sure I'll be sowing. I've also got other things which are miscellaneous, which are just down here. And I've also got a little community gardens bit down here, which is things we're going to be sowing at the community gardens. So that's really the seeds all organised for 2019. And there's rather a lot of them. Some of these we might only be sowing maybe 4 or 6 of the seeds. Some of them we may be sowing all of them, and the ones that we don't use up this year we'll be using in following years. So just going to look at the moment about what we're going to be sowing in January. So it's the middle of January now, there's only 2 weeks left. And what are we going to be doing? Let's move that out of the way. There's a number of things here. We do have some red onion and some white onion. We've got red onion, red baron and Bedfordshire champion. We're not going to be sowing those because we already have sets in the ground. So I'm just putting those at the back for next year. We've got some simple things that will be growing under cover, like chives and chervil and parsley. So they will be going in. We're also going to be sowing some sweet peas, which are just a mixed variety. Not really lucky with sweet peas. When I've grown them before, they've not done hugely well, so we'll give that a go. The favourite, now this is the first thing that I ever grew. It's cress. I grew cress and mustard seeds, and Dad, can't remember how old I was, but it can only be maybe a couple of years old, gave me some cress seeds and some mustard seeds, and we sowed them on cotton wool actually, which we won't be doing this time. Sowed them on cotton wool and obviously ate them. So these are going to be sown in the house on kitchen paper, on kitchen roll, damp kitchen roll, so we'll see how they go. I'm looking forward to that. It's nice to grow something that you grew years and years ago. That's in the wrong month. Cauliflower. Time to start sowing the cauliflower. This is all year round, and we did well with this year, or sorry, we did well with this in 2018. They germinated really well and we got a good number of cauliflower out of them. However, the heat of last year did affect them, and they sort of got a bit bitter towards the end. We're going to be sowing a cabbage earliest, and this is from the Heritage Seed Library. If you don't know about the Heritage Seed Library or Garden Organic, which is the sort of mother company, do have a look at them. They've got great heirloom seeds. So we're going to be doing that. This one is cabbage earliest and can be sown in January. And then we were fortunate enough to be sent some rhubarb seeds, in fact 3 types of rhubarb seeds, by Brendan. And those, though these aren't supposed to be sown until sort of end of February, March time, we're going to, because there's quite a few seeds there, and because we're at our allotment association is going to be at the Hanwell Carnival selling plants this year, as we do every year, I'm putting some of these in early, so I'm going to sow half of these early, and hopefully we'll have some plants that we can sell as rhubarb plants at the carnival, and then we'll have others that we can also keep. If they don't germinate, we'll do another sowing of more seeds, more of these seeds, at the end of February, beginning of March. So that really, oh, one other thing. Marrow fat peas. Slightly early to be sowing them, but I'm going to have a go. Our polytunnel generally does not get too cold, and I will sow these. I'm going to soak these seeds for 24 hours, and then I'm going to sow them quite thickly in a seed tray, and then we'll have 2 lots of what do you call them, cloches over them. Propagator lids, that's what I mean. We'll have two sets of propagator lids over them to try and sort of keep that warmth in, or at least keep the cold out. These are not going to be eaten as peas, they will actually be eaten as pea shoots. So we're going to give it a go. Hopefully we'll be harvesting them around March time. But you know what, this packet was 40p in a supermarket. It's worth just seeing for 20p and a bit of compost whether we can get something going early. So each month I'm going to be doing a roundup of what we are going to be sowing for that month, going through my little monthly segments, and we'll pick out what we're going to be sowing, and maybe when we get into sort of March and April where there's an awful lot, we'll just do sort of highlights of what we're sowing, and then we'll put a list. But just looking at the year ahead, or looking at the next couple of months, some things I'm really keen on getting going is a collard, which again is from the Heritage Seed Library. I've never grown collards before. In collard greens they are. I think they're used as a feed for chickens and other things quite often. We used to have them as kids growing up in Guernsey. Collard greens were something that we had regularly, several times a week. And Mum would just go down to the local farmer store and buy them, and absolutely adored them. So we're going to be growing those for the first time. I'm also going to be growing a yellow courgette. Now this is a courgette that is very knobbly. It's yellow. It's not a F1. It is saved seed from an Italian client's mum who lives near Verona. So we're going to be giving that a go. This is seed that she has had for a long time. She's grown for many, many years and saved the seed. She only grows one type of courgette, and this is it. In March we're going to be sowing ground cherries, which are like sort of little tomatoes, which we received from Sandra in the States. Thanks very much for those, Sandra. You sent them last year. We're going to be sowing them in February. Then in March, sorry, we're doing that in March. We're sowing the ground cherries in March. In April, we're going to be sowing the flint corn that we received from Vivi. So if you've not been on Vivi's channel, I'm sure you will have, do go over to Vivi's channel and look at the flint corn. It looks absolutely amazing. And then finally in May we are going to be sowing a long black radish that Clarice sent us from France. I have a real challenge with growing radish. I think in my 52.5 years I've grown one radish to full size. All the others have bolted or just sort of done nothing. Usually they've just gone long, thin, wispy, rooty and not grown. So radish is my thing to try and get right this year. So that's one of my goals for this year. So that's about it. That's the roundup of what we're growing in, what we're sowing in January, and a few things about what we're going to be growing the rest of the year. But as I say, each month we're going to be doing a quick video saying what we are growing that month. There we are.
So Paul, I've noticed that you've not utilised the gorgeous new seed box that we received. What are you going to be using that for? Or are we going to be getting rid of that?
I think, no, we are going to be using it.
Are we? What for
I
then?
think I'm going to put sort of gloves and things like that in it. We'll see. We'll see. We might not keep it. It's a lovely seed box and a lovely toolbox.
Might make a nice gift.
It might make a lovely gift. I'd rather keep Bertie the box with all our seeds in than use that seed tin, simply because in the seed tin I can't be as clear as I am here about what I'm growing month by month. So we'll see.
So when are you planning on putting in these seeds for January?
These are going to be soaked overnight. Half of these are going to be soaked overnight. Richard's going...
He's crinkling the packet and it's making a lot of noise, and I've already tutored him not to crinkle the packet and talk at the same time. But he's ignored that.
So we're going to be soaking these today for 24 hours, and then we're going to be sowing them tomorrow.
Oh.
And we'll also be sowing the cabbage and the cauliflower tomorrow as well.
Great. And what if we get a really cold snap? Where are you going to be? Are you going to be leaving them in the house?
I think, just like the worms, we'll be bringing them into the house. Yeah.
Great, another thing in the house. Okay, so yes, I'm beginning to feel like Tom and Barbara in The Good Life now.
Wait till I get the goat and the pigs.
No, that's never going to happen. Then I'd be like Margot out of The Good Life.
You're like Margot out of The Good Life now.
Am I?
Yes, absolutely. You are. We do have our tea here.
We're both drinking herbal tea.
Which one is this? Is this
Yours
strawberry?
is your strawberry mango thing, which tastes absolutely nothing like strawberry or mango.
It tastes more like raspberry, to be...
Doesn't taste like anything.
It does,
to me.
it tastes like raspberry.
Okay, so thank you
There
very
we are.
much. Thank you, Paul, for that insightful tour of your new seed box.
My organised seed box.
Organised seed box. Hallelujah, amen.
There are actually still a few beans in the fridge, but there are saved beans from last year that we'll be sowing.
Yeah, and they need to stay in the fridge to keep them fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did have a comment earlier from a subscriber saying don't keep seeds in the fridge, but we're just correcting that person, letting them know that you do keep seeds in the fridge, certain types.
Yeah.
And in fact, certain types require a period of time in the fridge to mimic winter conditions.
Absolutely. We've received some pine seeds from Shaz, which we'll most probably talk about a little bit more tomorrow, and they're going to be going in the fridge for a couple of months, and then we're going to be sowing them around the end of March, but we'll talk about them tomorrow.
Lovely. So
Yeah.
there we go. That's it, isn't it?
That was quite calm, wasn't it?
Quite calm.
Yeah.
What, compared to the run around the house?
I haven't seen that yet. Was my bottom big?
I didn't get your bottom on camera.
That's good.
Don't worry.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, well thank you very much, Paul, and we look forward to the progress report on the new seedlings for January, and of course further progress reports as the year goes on. Why are you laughing?
Because you're trundling on.
Trundling.
Trundling on.
Okay.
Chatting away.
Well, just rounding it up really,
Yeah.
which, you know, should be done. Thank you very much, everybody.
And if you like it, do subscribe and give us a thumbs up.
Yes, that would be absolutely delightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.